Studies estimate that a whopping 70% of people have the imposter syndrome. Symptoms include feelings of being less than perfect at your job, having a hard time accepting compliments despite evidence of skills and expertise, and an overall fear for any kind of failure. In this video, I'm going to break down what the imposter syndrome entails and offer you practical solutions that will break you free in the shortest time possible. Let's get it. So what is the imposter syndrome? Well, according to the Harvard Business Review, the imposter syndrome can be defined as a collection of feelings of inadequacy that persist despite evident success. Simply put, the imposter syndrome is that chronic feeling of self-doubt whenever you're tackling some intellectual work. When you're unable to internalize and appreciate your own talents, capabilities, and success as being equal with that of others in your industry, you, my friend, might be suffering from the imposter syndrome. In most cases, victims of the imposter syndrome will feel as if their success and achievement come from luck, and that sooner or later, the luck will run out. Whenever you're held back by the crippling belief that people like you couldn't possibly succeed given the shortcomings you know about yourself, you are under the spell of the imposter syndrome. But what causes the imposter syndrome, you may ask? Well, some researchers believe that it emerges from our childhood. When one child is designated to be the intelligent one of the family or the creative and sensitive one, a message of superiority is programmed into that child's mind. In some cases, this child might even get full support from the parents, leading them to believe that they are cut from a different cloth and that they should be perfect and superior to their siblings or other children. As an adult, such a child will develop a hugely unhelpful picture of what others are really like. The victim will overanalyze their own imperfections while failing to see beneath the polished surface of other people's flawed characters. No one is perfect. However, if you're a victim of the imposter syndrome, you will start to feel like a fraud, as if the success and professional accolades you are receiving are undeserved. This goes hand in hand with the fear of being unmasked, since you have a belief that other individuals are more competent than you and therefore more deserving of success. Another common belief that victims of the imposter syndrome have is a belief that all the success they have encountered comes down to luck or other external reasons and not their own efforts and talents. The victim of the imposter syndrome will often say things like, "I just got lucky," or "it was just a fluke." The victim will also downplay success in anything they do. You might compliment them on how amazing their work is, and since they believe that their success comes from luck, they will often have a hard time accepting even the most genuine compliments. Solutions. So if you realize any of these signs in your character, in your own character, the one thing you need to understand about the imposter syndrome is that it only allows you to see one side of the story. Think about it. As an individual, you know yourself from the inside, but you only know other people from the outside. This means that you will always be constantly aware of your own doubts and fears, yet what you know about the people you admire is what they'll tell you or what they do. You're only seeing them from the outside. You're often left to conclude that you are the only one struggling with self-doubt. The reality, however, is that others are every bit as disturbed as you are. You might not know exactly what challenges others are facing, but you can bet on the fact that they are just as anxious and scared as you are. The difference is that despite the fear and anxiety, the competent people you admire move on anyway towards success. So how can you do the same? Well, first, recognize the imposter feeling whenever it brings up its ugly head. Stay vigilant and shut down every thought that suggests you are an imposter. Sure, you might have a long way to go to become an expert, but believe that you are on the path and that even the most skilled individual in your field is not perfect at all. Second, rewrite your mental programming by reminding yourself that you don't have to know it all, that your journey begins with not knowing, and that you are just as deserving of success as anyone else. Third, have an open, honest dialogue about your fears and stop harboring negative thoughts about yourself. Fourth, understand that there will be times when you won't feel good about yourself. Times when you will fail to achieve your expectations. Such times will teach you to be comfortable with failure. Learn from those moments and move on. Do not, I repeat, do not dwell on your shortcomings. Fifth, love yourself. It might sound a bit selfish, but once you have reframed failure as a learning process, remember to be kind to yourself and also remember that you are allowed to make mistakes. After all, you are only human. In addition, be sure to reward yourself even for the smallest successes. This will help you build up an incentive that will make you comfortable even with big successes. The imposter syndrome is a dirty little secret that many high achievers face on a daily basis. Therefore, if you're facing it right now, that only means you are destined for greatness and that this is nothing more than a challenge you have to overcome to reach your goals. So understand that most of the times you won't be perfect, and that is just part of the process. Also start to compliment yourself more as you take constructive criticism seriously and not personally. According to me, I believe that creative confidence is actually a skill you can cultivate, and once you master it, you are well on your way to having a meaningful and fulfilled life where anything is possible.
Well, if you liked this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, and if you didn't like it, give it a thumbs down. Also remember to subscribe and leave your comments in the comment section below. Peace.